Hey guys, welcome to the Learn Feng Shui podcast, where you'll learn Feng Shui from a classical point of view, taking out the myth and superstition. So if you're interested in learning Feng Shui, Chinese astrology, all things Chinese metaphysics, as well as the superstitions and myths that connect it all, you'll enjoy learning Feng Shui with me. Hey guys, welcome to the Learn Feng Shui podcast, where ancient traditions meets modern living. I'm Candace Berling, a certified Feng Shui practitioner and your host for the Learn Feng Shui podcast. And today we're going to look at the energy for September, the month of the wood rooster. We're going to take a look at the energy tone for the month, how to stay healthy, as well as the flying stars and zodiac forecast for the month. All right, guys, let's get into it. Guys, so we're going into the month of the wood rooster around September 7th or so, and that'll last till October 8th. The first solar cycle of energy, or the Jie is a 15-day solar cycle of energy. Again, that starts September 7th and lasts till around September 22nd, and that's called white dew. September 22nd through October 7th is, of course, the autumn equinox, and that corresponds closely to the pagan wheel of the year and the observance of the vernal equinox or the autumn equinox. Looking at how we can stay healthy during this time. Remember, these markers bring us specific energies. These solar cycles reflect changes in climate, agricultural production, and natural phenomena and other aspects of living. It's referred to as the farmer's calendar. And again, there are specific things we can do to stay healthy during certain times of the year. This is the time of year that the days grow shorter and the air turns a little bit cooler. It's a point that transitions between summer and winter. And in Chinese medicine, it marks the point where the days and nights are about even. So it signifies the onset of autumn and symbolizes a harmonious balance between the yin and yang energies. Specifically, we can nourish the lungs. In Chinese medicine, the lung organ system is closely related to the autumn season and the element of metal. Therefore, it's recommended that one consume foods rich in pungent flavors like garlic, onions, and ginger to support lung health. In addition, we can incorporate seasonal fruits and vegetables like pears, apples, cauliflower into one's diet. I like to eat apples all year because I think it helps my digestion. Staying active. While the weather may be cooling, it's essential to maintain physical activity to keep the qi moving and flowing. Engaging in outdoor activities like a brisk walk, hike, or even practicing Tai Chi to help balance your energy. As the temperature drops, dress in layers to adapt to changing weather conditions. This helps prevent exposure to cold winds, which can weaken the body's deficiencies and lead to the onset of illness. I know they say cold air doesn't really make you sick, but specifically cold air to your back, it's supposed to be bad for your lungs and even your kidneys. So don't let the cold air hit your back. You can always just wear like a vest to keep your midsection and your torso warm. Balance rest and activity. So embrace the natural rhythm of the season by ensuring adequate rest and sleep. Balancing activity with relaxation is crucial to harmonize your body with the changing energy of autumn. And emotional wellness. Autumn's a time to reflect and let go. I think we talked about this last month because, again, the months of August, September, and October are all metal months, the metal season. So again, like the falling leaves, embrace the opportunity to release emotional baggage, practice mindfulness, and engage in activities like meditation to maintain emotional equilibrium. Some traditions and customs around the autumn equinox. Let's see here. The Double Nine Festival falls on the 9th day of the lunar month, usually close to the equinox. The festival is known as Senior Citizens Day, usually a time to honor a family and spend time with elderly family members. People often climb mountains during the festival and believe that it brings good luck and longevity. So maybe you can climb a mountain around this time. I really do want to go hiking. So I'm going to probably take some time, maybe after the autumn equinox when it's not so hot. We'll have to see. And maybe take a little hike. I think that'd be nice. Enjoying the autumn scenery. People take the opportunity to go outdoors and enjoy the autumn scenery. Nature walks, picnics, and park visits are popular during this time, of course. Again, just it not being so hot. Ancestor worship. Some families used to visit ancestral grave sites and pay respects to the elders. And clean their graves while offering food and incense is a way to ensure well-being and protect your family, if that's your custom. Eating a cake called Chongyang cake, or double ninth cake, made of various ingredients like rice flour, dates, and nuts. The cake's believed to have power to ward off evil and promote good health. Drinking chrysanthemum tea. So chrysanthemum is a popular beverage during the equinox. It's believed to have cooling properties to help balance the body's energies as the weather transitions from warm to cool. I'll have to add that to my tea diet, or my tea regimen. And just some other foods: root vegetables, sweet potatoes, carrots, radishes are good for grounding. They have the earth energy. It says here it helps stabilize your energy during the transition. We just talked about pears and apples, supposed to moisten the lungs. Nuts, chestnuts, and walnuts are enjoyed into autumn. They're supposed to be warming and provide energy and nourishment. Mushrooms, believed to support the immune system as well as vitality. It says here shiitake mushrooms are particularly highly regarded as a health benefit. Garlic and onions we talked about. Ginger is a warming quality. Cabbage, vegetables like cabbage, kale, and broccoli are hardy and harvested well into the autumn. They provide essential vitamins and minerals. Warm soups and stews as the weather cools. Nourishing soups and stews are recommended. Squash, lentil. I'm going to do a 15 bean soup with some ham, I think, this weekend. Herbs and spices. Incorporate warming herbs and spices into your cooking. Cinnamon, nutmeg, cardamom. Those are nice to have those spicy breads, like maybe like a pumpkin bread or something. And of course, tea, chrysanthemum we just talked about. And chamomile is just a good all around anti-inflammatory. All right, let's take a look at the energy tone for the month. Again, reading from the September newsletter at learnfengshui.com. I'm having a little bit of some issues with the website. I feel like when it rains, it pours. I've had issues with my mail outs. I've had issues with my website. I've had issues with trying to, it's just a whole thing. Like, I feel like everything is working against me. But man, hopefully that'll change going into September, the month of the Wood Rooster. Let's take a look at what this means for us energetically. Month's energy reflects the wisdom of strategic retreat. So the hexagram, the I Ching hexagram that represents the Wood Rooster is retreat. But you don't really have to like run away or anything, but knowing when to step back, not as a loss, but as a way to position yourself for greater success. Sometimes it's wise to lose a battle in order to win a war. And the trigrams of this hexagram, heaven above and earth below, remind us that some things are out of reach just for now. Just as heaven and earth don't meet, certain goals can't be forced. So focus instead on what's attainable and let time create the right conditions for what feels out of reach today. So just taking a little bit of a step back, reassessing. Again, some things you have to let go to get ahead. So if you're trying to do too much, that means maybe you need to let something go to get ahead in a different area of life, I suppose. That's what I'm trying to say. Man, doesn't that sound good? You can check that on the website, on the blog post. Okay. Weather trends. Keep an eye out for a possible active hurricane season. Dew forms on the grass in the morning as matches the Jechi cycle, the solar cycle, and the autumn equinox marks cooler nights and shorter days. I realize I spelled autumn equinox wrong. Just ignore that. And again, there's some action tips for September. Tap into the energy of the month with strategy. There's some tips like simplifying your space, removing clutter, grounding your vision, reevaluating relationships and stuff. And that goes in line with that energy that I talked about with the Wood Rooster. So you can check that out on the blog post. I'm going to now jump into the Zodiac forecast for the month. Let's take a look at that. All right, guys, we're looking at the Zodiac forecast for the month of September. The Grand Duke is the Rooster. I did redesign the blog page a little bit, and this newsletter, the Zodiac forecast, I did have it in columns, but now I have it in horizontal rows, which I think is easier to look at. I redesigned a couple of the pages so it's a little more concise. I think hopefully easier for you to follow. So go check that out. Of course, that'll be linked. But yeah, the Grand Duke is the Rooster, of course. But let's take a look at the good energy, General Star and Stages Star, as well as that Ty Sawyer Grand Duke energy. Represents recognition at work, a star that indicates it's time to step into a leadership role. So that may be good for the Rooster this month. The Golden Lock opens money-making opportunity. And when we say opportunity, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have money fly to you. That means you will have the opportunity to work for some money. Okay. I think a lot of people, they want the windfall or to win the lottery or just have money given to them. But when's the last time you just had money given to you without doing anything? So remember, get out there and it's unlocking the opportunity that gets you the money. It's not just money falling into your lap. Okay. A flying charm warns of setbacks and petty people. So careful of that. Solid killing star means you're not going to die, but double check your work and give people proper credit to avoid legal or copyright issues. The seasonal combination, monkey, rooster, dog, the zodiac signs that make up the season of autumn. So if you have the monkey or the dog, then you'll eventually have a seasonal combination within the month. Maybe a monkey day comes in. Of course, it's the month of the rooster, so these animal signs will combine to make the energy of metal, which gives you a potential to make you very, very strong. Some people talk about having a strong chart. Is my chart strong? Is it weak? Doesn't really matter. When you have this energy come in, it can be strong and it can support an organization, your workspace, and clear your calendar, clear clutter away. It really helps with that sort of organization. It can help with setting boundaries, communication, and creating focus hours. For your action, you can place a metal object in the west corner of your workspace or home to support clarity and structured thinking. If you need a little extra mentally think, or you can use the west sector of your home or office for work. Three harmony combination is the rooster, snake, and ox. So if you have the snake or ox, you'll have a combination during this month. It's known as a metal frame, supports strategy, long term planning. So, for you, mapping out clear goals before jumping into action. Remember, we talked about that strategic execution, that is, that retreating some things. So, map out those clear goals, really look at what is going to benefit you to focus on. Okay. Strengthen connection through network and collaboration. Remember that metal energy also is communicating, it's networking, it's like being chummy with the other person. Make friends with the other person. Remember collaboration. There's no such thing as competition. Even if they do the exact same thing as you, they'll never be you. So there's enough for everybody. Remember that. Sharpen communication. Remember, it represents that communication too. Be precise and diplomatic to avoid misunderstanding. In the combo six, or what's called the secret friend, is the dragon to the rooster. So if you have the dragon, again, you'll have this metal energy, focus, discipline, reliable support. Good time to set clear goals, work with partners, and stay consistent. So do that. Team up or collab, same thing with a trusted partner, share a project. It can bring better results than going solo. I've been thinking about that with my podcast lately. I do have a guest coming up this month, but I've really been thinking about collaborating a little bit more as far as maybe even branching out to another podcast. Well, we shall see what happens. And I have a dragon too. So there's that. Stay consistent with your routine. Consistency brings results. So stay grounded. Metal energy thrives. Remember, with this metal energy, the earth will bring support. So staying grounded will bring you support. Okay. Take away distractions. Stick to a schedule, even if it's just a consistent bedtime or maybe an exercise routine that you start, but do something consistently. I know a lot of people say that they can't do consistent. Maybe you have ADHD, maybe you neurodivergent, we've talked about before, but really making yourself a routine, just pretty much sticking to it, will be very useful, even if you don't think you can have a routine. Beneficial to include like one thing you do consistently, like you work every day at 9 or you exercise every day at 10 or whatever. Make it consistent, okay? The clash zodiac sign is the rabbit. So the rabbit clashes with the rooster for September. And remember, a combination will take precedence and take your clash away. A rabbit combines with a pig, goat, and dog. Yeah, pig, goat, and dog, okay? Okay. So during a clash, you can use the opposing energy to make a change, quit smoking, or in a toxic relationship. You can spend time in the southwest sector or the area of the goat of your home to combine and take away the clashing energy. I wouldn't spend time in the northwest because it has that 3-star for the year. And I think it has a this month. We'll get into that flying stars in just a second, speaking of. But it's also the what is called the soy po, or the year breaker. So don't really use that. The dog and the pig are both in that area of the northwest. So let's use the southwest, has better energy for the month, and it could take away that clashing energy. If you don't know where the goat is in your home, message me. Promise I can help you. Yeah, just message me. But talking of flying stars, let's get into the flying stars for the month. All right, well, the Feng Shui flying stars for the month. Again, I redesigned the top page of this. I do have a quick reference guide that kind of talks about the flying stars, but on each page, so this is the positive sectors, I have a little bit more information about the flying stars and what they represent in an easy to use, like quick glance guide, and how you can enhance it. Okay. So flying star 1 represents career recognition and wisdom. Flying Star 4 represents romance, learning, and academic pursuits. And Flying Star 6, authority, leadership, and it has like the boss energy, okay? The head of a household type energy. A Flying Star 8 is wealth, opportunity, growth, and investments in spirituality. Happiness and sales is star number 9. So looking at that, starting in the center, the gets the 4-star. Remember, from my perspective, this isn't a sector you can like use or activate. The center of the home is not considered a trigram, so we don't use this. The way I use it is to look at it more to set the tone for the month, if that makes sense. Okay. So remember, there's a 2 there for the year. So we'd look at these, what's called the 81 combinations in flying stars. It combines literary romance and academic pursuits with a hidden challenge or obstacle. This center again sets the tone and it represents opportunity with caution. Creative and intellectual pursuits are supported, but tension or minor setbacks can happen if things are rushed or overlooked. Again, it's that thing of strategic execution we talked about. It's the time to plan carefully, stay focused on long term goals, and maintain balance in your daily routines. Everything we talked about with the zodiac signs, too. What does that tell you this month? Remember to pull back when you feel like you're putting too much energy into something that's not paying off. Okay. So look at what is benefiting you for the month. All right. Flying star number 8, one of the favorites, the wealth star, falls into the south in Gua. Oops, I meant to put Gua 9, but I put Gua 8 there. So, yeah, the 8-6 pairing enhances wealth potential while supporting authority, leadership, and recognition in the south. The energy encourages decisive action, stepping into leadership roles and building long term financial stability. It's a month to focus on practical planning, career advancement, and manifesting reachable results. If you're a Gua 9, don't pay attention to the newsletter where I said Gua 8. You can benefit from the energy by strengthening your influence, attracting opportunities, and making progress on wealth related goals. Stay active in your project or just work. Take advantage of the combination, especially if you are in a leadership role. You can enhance by using a lamp, radio, fan, or just using the sector to work. Keep the energy flowing. Flying star number 1, the authority star, goes to the southwest in Gua 2. The 1-8 combo is one of the most favorable combos. Remember, there's 8 for the year. Combines wisdom, opportunity, and prosperity with steady growth. The southwest, the energy supports advancement, wealth accumulation, and success through learning and strategic effort. To be good also for growing. In the southwest, the energy supports advancement, wealth accumulation, and success. It can also represent growing your assets. So there's that. A Gua 2. If you're a Gua 2, you can see strong gains in career, finances, or recognition. The combo also favors decision making and learning that can lead to long-term stability. So focus on that this month. You can enhance it by spending time in the sector, keeping it active, work or study. Use gentle movement like a light or fan to stimulate the energy. All right, going to the west. We talked about the west earlier. Gua 7, flying star 6 is there. Gua 7, star 6. Sometimes it can represent a little bit of fighting, so do be careful there. I didn't put that there. That's my little bit of a tip to you, because really the star 4 that is there for the year really helps form a combination that's considered especially fortunate in flying stars, a combo of 10. So whenever it adds up to 10, it's supposed to be really good. It's supposed to bring wisdom, authority, and support from helpful people, create opportunities and advancement and recognition. So the West highlights success in career growth, and is beneficial also for relationships. For people with the Gua 7, the energy encourages collaboration, mentorship, and recognition of your skills. It's a favorable time to seek guidance from supportive figures or step into leadership roles also. You can enhance it by spending time in the sector, especially when working, using a bright light, use a little bit of a fan to keep the energy going. Again, you can work in that sector if you can. Flying star number 9 goes to the north. Remember, it's a spiritual and happiness star. It creates a 9-7 combo. So this can be a little bit challenging. So even though the flying star number 9 is there, the flying star 7 is there for the year. Remember, that can represent some legal issues. It can represent really like kind of speaking almost like a slander, sharp words, arguing if not managed with care. The energy can be used for visibility and attraction, though, networking. It benefits from balance and clear communication. So the combination, if you're a Gua 1, can enhance charm, social connection, and influence, making it a favorable time to network or promote your work. At the same time, it's important to stay mindful of tone or being too blunt when speaking. Remember, it's all about communication. So if you're networking with somebody and you offend them, that could be that kind of energy. You can enhance by spending time in the sector. We need to boost visibility, make a presentation, connect socially. You don't really need to overactivate it. Just use the sector. All right, let's take a look at the negative stars for the month. Generally considered negative is the flying star 2 and 5. Sometimes neutral or even as supportive in some cases is the 3 and the 7. Honestly, the 2 can be used sometimes and occasionally the 5. Did you know that? But this month we're not going to be doing that. I don't actually really ever recommend doing it because I feel like it's like a do it at your own risk type of thing. So I won't recommend it, but occasionally there's exceptions to the flying star 5, okay? Like last month when it fell in the center, it can be neutral, but we really can't use it. So it's kind of dormant, I suppose. kind of like, I've heard it compared also to a volcano. So it's a earth energy, but it's like a hot lava. So it can be very destructive. But when it cools and it's settled and stable, it can be some of the most nourishing and fertile soil. So what do we do with that, right? What do we do with that? It can either kill and destroy or be super nourishing. This month I wouldn't use it. It goes to the northwest to the Gua 6. The 5-3 pairing is considered unlucky because it's kind of like misfortune, like maybe an accident. So be careful if you use the sector a lot. The combo points to obstacles, disputes, maybe potential accidents. Be cautious. Keep the area calm to avoid unnecessary risk. If you are a Gua 6, this energy can show up as tension with authority figures, maybe misunderstandings, unexpected disruptions. There may be a greater need to watch for minor mishaps or even accidents, so be cautious. You might want to put a little salt jar, salt cure or something for the month, or if you have a preferred cure, especially if it falls at your front door or the bedroom where you sleep, you might want to cure that. I'm going to put a little cure in mine because my son's bedroom is there. Okay, Flying Star 2, the Illness Star. It goes to Gua 3 in the east. It combines with that Fire Star, so it could potentially create a health concern, emotional upset, stress. The east sector's energy can indicate illness or drain energy if you want to activate it. So, just keep it quiet. If you're a Gua 3, this energy may show up as fatigue, irritability, tension. So prioritize rest for maintain routines and support your health. Avoid unnecessary pressure for the Gua 3. Again, just keep it calm, avoid overstimulation, a lot of bright lights, loud noise, and put your preferred cure there. I didn't actually put anything here for the month as a cure, but you might want to cure it if your front door or your bedroom is located there, like I mentioned. Flying Star number 3 goes to the southeast, the 3-1 combo. So the water of the 1 star is actually fueling the wood of the 3 star. It kind of strengthens its tendency towards arguments and irritation. For the southeast, this means heightened potential for danger, aggression, or even conflict. If you're a Gua 4, the energy may bring emotional frustration, maybe miscommunications, increased tendency towards anger. It's a time to practice patience and mindfulness in conversations. So just keep your anger in check. You can manage it by keeping the area peaceful, avoid confrontations in that sector, and spend less time there. I don't really think there is a need to cure. Flying Star 3 doesn't bring a lot of issues unless it's combined with a 5, just like in the Northwest. So again, no need to cure. Just be mindful. Okay, the real Gua 8 in the Northeast gets the Flying Star 7. So it does have a 5-7 combo. Sharp and unstable nature, of course. Misfortune 5 yellow creates risk of accidents, financial loss, or disruption. So the northeast sector is an energy that's unsettled, should be approached with caution. Just don't overly use it. A combination can stir instability in the Gua 8. Carelessness, mistakes, conflict, or affect finances and well-being. So be careful about that. Maybe heightened risk of mishaps if you push forward too quickly without care. You can manage it by keeping the sector calm and avoiding unnecessary activity. The Star 7, being a metal star, helps to control the yearly Star 5. You shouldn't have too bad of an impact, but the metal cure there can help weaken that earth energy also and avoid renovations, loud disturbances. You could put a saltwater cure there or metal weights. I used to do. I don't do a lot of curing anymore, maybe just some coins. Let's see here. It's my living room, so I don't have a lot I haven't really been using it. All right. No renovation sectors, of course. Southeast has the yearly Grand Duke. Right across there, the pig, the year breaker. It's the 5 yellow, so we're not going to renovate in the Northwest. Northeast has all kinds of crap you don't want to activate. 5 yellow for the year. The Wuji Shaw, which is the disasters Shaw. I just have all kinds of stuff going on. And of course, the West for the Grand Duke for the month. Right across is the Soipo Month Breaker in the East. So where can you renovate? Maybe just the South and Southwest. Message me if you want to do some renovations, okay? All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's energy update, looking at the energy tone for the month, gauging influence that we may have, the strategic retreat. Look at where you want to pull back and the zodiac signs as well as the Feng Shui flying stars. Remember, if you have any questions about today's episode, message me, info@learnfengshui.com. Or you can comment on Spotify as well as leave a review. That really helps. All right, guys. This month I have coming up, next week will be Dr. Amatma. We're going to look at holistic fertility. I had the most interesting conversation about balancing hormones and conceiving, the chances of conceiving for a woman over 35 is supposed to dip down, but that is actually a myth. Dr. Amatma tells us all about how to balance your hormones after age 35. So that's just not just trying to get pregnant, but that is also looking at how our hormones dip and how we can balance those to feel better up into menopause. Very beneficial. I'm excited about that episode. It was a great, great conversation. And then the week after that, we're going to look at the updates on period 9. Had a kind of an interesting week this week. I don't know where this is going to take me, but I'm actually learning more about herbs. So I actually took a job at a herb shop, and I do not know how that's going to affect my production schedule. I'm hoping not at all, but I'm excited to share with you guys what I'm going to learn. I'm going to learn all about different symptoms, about how different herbs can help, whether it's teas or different types of encapsulations and stuff like that. I'm really excited about it. It's something that actually came up for me very quickly, and decided to pursue it. So we'll see what happens with that. I was almost kind of at a crossroads in my career, I suppose, wanting to. I've kind of stepped back a lot from consultations and stuff like that because earlier this year I mentioned I was sick. But even over the past 2024 through 2025, I do feel like I needed to take a step back and just work on the podcast and working on the best podcast I can be, that type of thing. And I had a loss last year. I had my cousin's son and my aunt passed away. And so it was almost this time of like, I wanted to step back and not do anything. I wanted to just focus on what really mattered, which was my family. But I feel like I'm ready to step out there and to see what's gonna happen with everything. So all that to say, yeah, there's some new opportunities coming up, and I'm excited to share with you guys. All right, I'll catch you guys next week for Dr. Matma and looking at natural hormones and fertility, especially in women over 35. So I hope you'll join me for that episode.